Good morning. It's Kay with In and Out the Garden. It's June 20th. Summer officially begins tomorrow, and I wanted to show you all some things that were in flower. But first, before I do that, I was walking around out here and I happened to see Sunshine. She's back here at the end of the vegetable garden, just living the life of the beautiful cat out there with my amaranth, which hasn't got full blooms on it yet, but it's starting to. It's not really anything to show you just yet, but this is the Love Lies Bleeding amaranth. And then, of course, Sunshine down there. She's pretty good about not trampling on things, but we do have other stray cats that come into the yard that do like to trample things. So I guess while we're back here, my goal was to show you some flowers, but I do want to show you that my tomatoes are coming on. Some nice big ones back there. And I have one giant tomato. Let me see if I can find, oh, there it is. This is one of the Brandywines. And it's going to be huge. But, of course, my tomato patch has gotten away from me again. I did start out pruning it pretty good, and then, I don't know, it's like it just turns into a monster overnight. I have some really good sized peppers down here that I'm kind of waiting to see how big they get. These are the Jedi. Oh, I think she's hungry. So let me get her some food. Okay, so we're making Sunshine happy, and this is actually her third feeding this morning, so it's not like she's going hungry or anything. Aren't those beautiful? They're echinacea, otherwise known as cone flowers. And I have actually two different brands there. One I picked up at Walmart, and the other one is Proven Winners. And I'm pretty sure the Walmart ones are the taller ones, the more orange, and the Proven Winners are on the left. And they have a little bit more color to them, or different coloring to them. They're more of a dark pink, but they're all gorgeous. The snapdragons back here, I think this is my favorite color of all the snapdragons, and it was in a mix that I bought. It was a berry mix, and so there was this yellow in there, and I think the pink that's just starting to flower, and the red I bought separately. I started all those from Johnny's seed. Have a little bit of the larkspur remaining. You can see I have a big old hole here. I pulled out the majority of the larkspur yesterday. It was done. So I have a big hole. I've started some more zinnias, so we'll get those in there as soon as they get big enough. The huckster butterfly bush is filling out, and I have seen a few butterflies on there. Looks like something's eaten on it a little bit, but I think it'll probably be fine. But it is truly gorgeous. My straw flowers, you can see they're doing great. Have some this light pink. And that's kind of a new color for me this year, as well as this peachy apricot color. And you can see they kind of start out creamy and then they darken in color. as they age. Well, she must be done with her food now. And then I have the dark purple. And I love all of them. They make great dried flowers. They feel dry already, but that's just their nature. The red twig dogwood is blooming again. It did bloom early in the spring, just a little bit. I was really disappointed with the blooms that came on in the spring, but it's fleshed out again. And so I'm much happier with that. The zinnias, they're just going for it. There is a mix of cactus zinnias in here, and then there's the giant red and the giant pink, and they're all from Johnny's Seeds. But look at that. That's my hand, and so it's a really, really large flower. I don't know. I'm kind of drawn to the cactus-shaped ones, and definitely the bigger the better. I still have a little bit of the larkspur left, which I may have said already. It seemed like the dark purple was the latest to bloom, so that's pretty much what I have left. That may be the only thing I have left. Here's some yellow echinacea, which came back from last year. Also, petunias, some of them are still looking good. The ageratum, surprisingly, it's keeping up. When things first started filling in, I thought, oh, they're just going to get completely taken over by the petunias, but they haven't. They've kind of held their own. However, the chives that I planted along the back side of these concrete planters, they have been, they didn't come up very well. The flowers in here started growing too quickly. They didn't really have a chance to get much done. So I don't know, there might be enough chives for one meal for one person. I had a lot more blooms on this crabapple than I certainly have berries, but it is its first year, so we'll give it a couple more years, and I bet we'll end up with full blooms. As I was saying, I was cleaning out the garage, or behind the garage, so I could store some stuff back there, and some of the things that I want to move back there are these bricks and these blocks, and I did get my extra hoses moved back there yesterday after I got it cleaned out and all my debris hauled off. So that area will look better in the future, not today. True to its name, this reblooming lilac is blooming again, and this bloom is much fuller than the first spring bloom was. Just going to see if we could see where any of those earlier blooms were. Yeah. I don't know if you can see that very well, but that was one of the first blooms. And so it's put on quite a bit of height since then. It's probably 3 feet tall, and this is also its first season. Have just a few of the snapdragons over here. I kind of love that fuchsia color. And then the pink beside it. This pot's still looking nice. It's all petunias. I have a volunteer zinnia there, and it's pretty in pink. The canna lilies, and these are all volunteer, come back from last year. That's just a beautiful coral color. Really large blooms on there. And then there's some more volunteers that are coming up here. Trying to get down here where you can see. Generally, they fill in pretty good. I wish I had some yellow ones, though. They've been really hard to find the past few years, and I've not come across any this year. So they're just too expensive to buy online. My limelight hydrangea is just starting to bud out, so it'll be in full bloom before you know it. And it is massive, even though I cut it way back this year. But I've always intended for it to be a big part of this little bed here, so it can grow all at once. So I mowed and weed eated yesterday, and I still need to pull some weeds. And these pots over here look really sad. We've had a lot of rain the past few weeks, and it has just beat them down, and now they're getting really leggy. So my dilemma is, do I pull them out and put something else in there? Do I cut them back? I'm not sure, so I really haven't done anything with them yet. So we're back over here to Sunshine's food. I better pick that up or the ants will be all over it. So we'll get it out of the way. I do love this color of salvia. And these came back from last year. I love it when that happens and you don't have to rebuy something. The ageratum is really going for it. My favorite, of course, is the purpley blue one, but they're both doing quite well. Here in the back, I have some lantana, some pinkish, orangish, and a yellow one, and then there's some snapdragons that were much smaller than the other ones that we saw in the garden much later. That haven't bloomed out yet, but this lantana, last year when I bought it, it got, I don't know, at least 4 foot high and 4 foot wide, and so I just assumed that's what this is going to do, but to be honest, I don't think I checked the tag to see, and it may be a different variety that may not, so I don't know. I'm hoping it goes ahead and gets as big as I think it will, so you can actually see it rather than have to peek around things to find it. So we'll see how that goes. A couple other things I want to show you is this. Look at the bloom size on that. Now this is the Annabelle hydrangea, and the blooms just keep getting larger and larger. I have cut some to dry, but look at how big that is. Here's my hand, and it's just going and going and going. There's another of the lantana, the yellow lantana that I was talking about. I figured when I put it in there that it would just kind of take over half this bed. So, I don't know, right now it's pretty small. And the last thing I want to show you is the status. It's finally, well, just about in full bloom. I think I'm going to have to do that in pots next year, some more of it. I bought a mix, so I'm not really sure, when it comes up what color it's going to be until it colors up, but I may try to get some where I know what the color is, which the yellow is fine here. It looks great. It's lavender underneath it, which hasn't bloomed out yet, but is definitely keeping up. But I am really impressed with that because it's tall, and so for a pot, definitely could be that thriller. Roses are at their second flush. And I did deadhead this about a week ago. And I think I've said before, the roses that I have along here are just knockout roses, which are pretty inexpensive that you can pick up at Walmart. But they have the best, I want to say odor. It's probably because I'm a nurse, but not odor, but the best aroma, the best smell. And that one also has flushed out again. So I have the red and the pink. And then another snowball bush over here, which is doing great. Everything in this bed is looking fairly good. The hosta here is getting a little bit scorched. The sun just comes along the edge there during the hot afternoon and evening. And so the leaves on the back side look much better than they do on the front side. The heuchera are just starting to bloom, send up their bloom stalks, and I really love them, especially in flower arrangements. They're wonderful. Whereas the coleus little bloom stalks, yeah, I'm not in love with those. But especially these dark ones that have the little light blooms on them. They just really make everything stand out. That dark stem. Okay, guys, well, I think that's pretty much all I wanted to show you for today. Just as a side note, it is my birthday. Summer begins tomorrow. Everything's looking fairly well. So it's a good season in my world. Let me know how it is in yours. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.